This class is inspired by some work that I've been doing with another instructor of mine who teaches yin yoga. And the whole sort of approach to it is to open up the body and release the tension that's already in the body. And there's definitely certain postures that are more appropriate than others for doing that. Everybody has their own tensions that are built up in their body, so it's on you to listen to what's going on in your own system. And if something feels approachable for you, or if it feels right, then you just go ahead and go with that. If something feels like it's too tense and it's uncomfortable, then don't do it. So I'm definitely listening to my body doing this, and I just encourage you to listen to yours. So starting off, I'm sitting on the cushion, and I'm sitting on the front of it, so my pelvis is tilted forward just a little bit. And that tilt is quite important for just getting the proper alignment in your base. If you're familiar with the chakra systems, that's associated with the first root chakra. Another part of the whole system here is it's a grounding experience. Yeah, so as I was just saying, basically the whole process here is to open up our bodies and to do so gently and consciously, and very much with a certain level of awareness. And as I mentioned, that awareness is unique to each person, so definitely dial into that. Starting off, just sitting down, whether cross-legged or whatever's comfortable for you, sitting on that cushion, just to get that forward tilt of the pelvis. And we'll just start with some breathing. Really get that deep breath. All the way in. And all the way out, the deepest breath of your day. I like to move my arms with it and just get my upper body sort of awake with the motion. And starting to experience your breath as a full body experience. So yes, we're just breathing into our lungs, but our lungs expand into our entire body. So in this practice, we're opening up our entire body so that the breath, we can breathe into our chest, we can breathe into our abdomens, we can breathe into our shoulders, our neck, into our heads, into our arms, and into our fingers. Really focus on the quality of that breath. I'm going to slow it down just a bit here. But I do like to hold my breath every now and then in a breathing exercise. And I imagine I'm like a deep sea diver when I do that. And actually out on the beach here in White Rock, I've been doing some deep water. I'll swim out into the water here and I take a deep breath. And as nervous as it makes me knowing that I'm going down under the water with all the pressure, all that water and the pressure weighing down on me, you just gotta relax. And I notice that if I'm able to relax, I can go down farther. And I can stay there longer. So let's listen to our bodies again. If you feel any immediate tension, just from your awareness, then just let it go. I carry a lot of tension in my shoulders and in my neck. So we're going to go in just a few breaths here. In, out, in, out. And really breathe out. In, out, in, out, in, out, all the way in and then hold. Back to regular breathing if you must. If you're in, stay in. Listen to what your body's telling you and relax into it. And acknowledge any fear or stress. With that first hold, I really start to feel a tingling in my legs and in my arms. It's just the body waking up. Now, in the spirit of waking up the body, I'm going to change the position here to one taught to me by Coralie. And it's on our hands and knees. So it's as though you're getting ready to do a push-up, but your knees are on the floor like a tabletop. Keep breathing. When you breathe in, arch your back. Up and out. And when you breathe out, put your back in the other direction. And your pelvis is rotating during this. The pelvis goes down and in, and then up and out. Nice deep exhale. And in. And out. 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 Now come back onto your heels, sitting upright. With the same motion in your pelvis. The same motion in your shoulders. So when we're breathing in, we're expanding the chest, opening the chest. Deep breaths. Relax. Preparing for another hold. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. You ready? One more. Out, and in, and hold. Relax. Tune in. I'm going to sit back on my block here. In that upright position. Legs are crossed. Oh, I felt some real tension in my neck during that. Oh, so I'm just gonna feel that out. Maybe rotating your shoulders. Let's do a basic twist here. So take your right arm and put it on the outside of your right knee and twist over looking to the left. Deep breath in. And remember, when you breathe, really sense your whole body expanding. Breathe into that tension. Oh, and release it. Okay, back to center. With your left arm, your left hand over the right knee, looking to the right, take your breaths. Back to center. Now you're going to start to alternate between left and right. Breathing in when I go to the side. Breathe out into the center and breathe in on the next side. I'm actually lifting my arms up. Right arm up and over. Left arm up and over. Oh, again, just releasing that tension. Sitting upright. Back to center. Now this time we're going to use our arms and cycle our arms. So bring your arms to center, heart center. And as you breathe in, gather the breath. I like to move my arms outside and bring them down and in, as if I'm scooping it in from my base and then up through my chest, and up through my neck and my head, and totally upwards into the sky above my head and out and around. Ooh. So that breath in comes all the way up. Oh, and out. In, up, and out. Oh. So we're going to go back to another hold. Breathing in with our arms and just keeping the arms to the face and then back down, up towards your neck. And back down and out. Up and in. 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 Just a few more breaths and we're going to hold. All the way out. All the way in. And push it out. Deep. And in. In. One more breath out. And one more breath in, then hold. Remember to smile. Woo. Good job, guys. From here, we're going to go into the final position on our backs. So remove whatever you're sitting on. Stretch your legs out, and maybe you got to shake them out a little bit. My knees are stiff from all that sitting down. And lay on your backs. With your arms by your sides. And flatten out your neck. So sometimes that means sort of bringing your chin down and tilting the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Your heels are about shoulder width apart with your toes tilted outwards. And again, breathing deeply. Feel your body start to level out. From the crown of your head to your toes. Shake out your legs. Up and down with your knees. Now, there is one more posture here. It's a favorite of mine when I'm lying down. I really, really like to stretch out my whole body. And a nice one for doing that, if you take your right leg and cross it over your left knee, and then we're just going to drop the knees, both of them to the left. Keep your shoulders flat on the floor, and then look to the right. I like to put my right arm up during this to feel that full stretch. And remember to take that deep breath. When you breathe in, your whole body's expanding. Oh. The deeper you breathe, the more you're going to feel. Bring your head back to center and your arm back down. And I like to use my left hand here to help my knees back up. Straighten out. Bring your right knee over and down. Stretch your legs out again. Shake out your knees. Flex your toes up and your heels out. Your hands above your head and just get a nice stretch in. Oh, that's the good morning. Oh. Arms back down. A few more deep breaths and we'll do the other side. Knees back up, feet up with your knees. Feet planted on the floor. Take your left leg and cross it over your right knee. Cross-legged. And tilt to the right. Looking to the left with your left arm up. And if you want, put your right arm, your right hand, and just rest it on top of your right knee. And breathe deep. All the way in. And if you can during these breaths, then really shift your awareness to where you feel like it's most tight, most tense in the posture. And if you can imagine when you take your deep breath, really imagine that that area is what you're breathing into. And that area is what is expanding. Oh. Now bring your knees back up. Uncross your legs. Stretch out your legs and shake it out. Remember that arm motion. So breathing in all the way from the depths, from our base, our pelvis, and up through our chest, up over the head, oh, and out and around, and up, and out and around. We're going to bring the knees back up again. Then cross your legs, same as before. So I have my left leg crossed over my right leg. So we're going to tilt it to the left. This is similar as before, only now our legs are crossed the opposite way. You're going to definitely feel more of a stretch in your hip. With that right arm up. Arm back down and legs back up. Use your legs, use your hand to assist your knees back up to center. Uncross your legs. Stretch out your legs. Shake it out. Hands at your sides. Chin tucked. Knees back up, feet flat on the floor. Cross your right leg over your left. And drop your knees to the right. Left arm up. Oh. Shoulders on the floor. And breathe. Knees back up. Uncross your legs. Good job, everybody. Straighten straighten out your legs. Shake out your knees. Hands up over your head. Oh, point your toes. Extend your heels. And stretch. Bring your arms around and down beside you. We're just going to let this go for a couple minutes here. This posture in yoga is called Shavasana, and it's just to let everything level out. So I'm going to leave you just on your own here in this position, and we're all just going to level out. Start to bring it back. Focusing on your breath. And at this point, I like to flex my buttocks and rotate my hips just a bit. Oh. Oh, wakey, wakey. Let's come back up to seated. Oh, get your prop underneath you. Mine's a rolled up towel. I had this image of baked beans, a can of baked beans just sitting in my cupboard, and it's like it'd been sitting there for like 3 years. And I've been going around so hungry for baked beans for so long. And I didn't even know I had the baked beans in my cupboard all that time. But sometimes you got to clean out your cupboard. You got to clean out the pantry to find the beans, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Or like cleaning out the house and you find the change under the couch. You know, it's the same ordeal. So this breathing exercise, when I'm doing well, it feels like, oh, why do I even need to do these breaths, or why do I need to get up and be awake and be alert, and you don't need to be honest. You don't have to do any of this, but sooner or later we're gonna all face a roadblock in our lives or a crisis, and it comes to everybody in our own times. And I've always found that in my life, when I'm facing something, whether it's a physical pain, or if it's some kind of life pain or life stress, that I get forced back to these places where I need to breathe. So recently I did have a respiratory situation going on, and I don't often get sick or flu or cold or anything. But amidst all this COVID situation, I'm like, oh my God, maybe I have the coronavirus. And who knows, maybe I did, but it was sort of freaking me out because I don't get sick. And here I am with my lungs getting tight. And I got back into that breathing exercise. And I got back into that deep breath. And in times like those, when you can think about so many other things, you can think about, oh, am I not going to make it? Oh, am I sick? Oh, am I this? Oh, am I that? Just focus your breath and stay in tune with what's happening in your system, and find that place within yourself, that healing place. Tune into that and expand that, because you're going to share that energy with all the other systems in your body. You're going to share it. If you have an illness, you're sharing it with the illness. So you're healing, and you're just sort of spreading that goodness. And I found that doing that physically helps. And then furthermore, through the day, in sort of my lineup during the day, now that I'm feeling so alive and vibrant, that's one part of it, to get your body feeling alive. But the next part of it is to go and sort of sense. And when you do this process on your own, you'll get a sense for what's happening in your life that needs cleaning up. So our body's obviously related through our liver and our digestive system and our lungs and our heart, but our lives are related in our households and in our environments and with the people that we know, with the responsibilities and the obligations that we have. So I'm going to encourage you, once this meeting's over, maybe just to reflect on your intentions for the day, what it is that you feel called to be doing in your day. And I often have the brightest visions of what that is during these experiences. So just acknowledge what that is, and keep it in mind during the day, and go for it. And remember to breathe. And if you feel like you've been so stressed out during the day and you're lost, and you're up here and whatever you're doing just isn't enough and it's not coming together, just let it go. Let it go. Come back. Maybe you got to find that private space, that mat or that block to sit on, and get back into breathing. Because what's happened is you've gotten some tension that's built up, and it's sort of coagulated, and it's turning into a knot. And in order to unknot it, you just need to relax and need to breathe. And that starts in the body, and then we spread it outwards. So that's my practice. Namaste. Thank you for joining. The 30-minute turned into an hour breathing exercise. I hope you all have an awesome day. And thank you for joining me.